Coach's Corner. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick. My guest in the studio today is Preston Wilkes, Big Bend Community College Athletic Director and head coach of the Lady Vikings basketball team. Welcome to the set, Coach. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Well, it's getting to be that time of the year again, you know, and with the opening of the regular season not too far off, I'm just kind of curious as how the team is shaping up this year.
Hey, you know, we're excited about this year. Things have been going real well so far. I'm really excited about my group. You know, right now we're about as excited as we've been in any of the previous years. So we're just ready for games to start is what we're kind of waiting for, you know, to see how we compete and how we do this year. But we're really excited about how it's looking so far.
Okay, and can you tell me maybe some of the key losses? You lost to graduation, and then some of the players that you're counting on, and do you have any local recruits on the team this year?
Sure. Last year we had a couple great players that had a lot of success. The team had quite a bit of success, but individually we had two players that kind of stood out. They were all league. Allie Winters, she was first team all league, and she's now playing at Westminster University down in Salt Lake City and doing well. So she's starting as their point guard down there. She averaged about 17 points a game last year, so that's going to be, you know, we're going to need somebody to step up and figure out a way to score points. Hopefully as a group we can do that. And then we also lost Sierra Zollinger last year. You know, she was Defensive Player of the Year, and she really set the tone for us defensively last year. You know, every night she'd have the toughest matchup inside, always guard the bigs, and, you know, would haul down 11 plus boards a game. So, you know, with those two going, what we've got now is an opportunity for the youngsters to step up and to take on roles like they had. And I think we really do have some players that can do that this year. You know, and like I said, I think as a group they can do that. We've got some great returners, and you know, I can tell you a little bit more about them here in a little bit if you'd like to know more about them individually.
Sure. So you finished, let me see, 6-12 last year in the NWAC East Region Conference. You were ranked as high as number 4 in the Joe Word NWAC poll and number 5 in the coaches poll. Barely missed the playoffs, I think, by a game or two.
Yep.
And so I'm just kind of curious, what will it take to get over that hump and get into the postseason this year?
Well, you know, we did have a real successful season last year. We felt we were 16-12.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, we had a great start to our year. We climbed up the polls throughout the year, and like you said, we got as high as, I think it was a number 4. I think, yeah, number 4 in the power poll. And, you know, we had a great run through the first half of the league, and then in the second half of the league we slowed down a little bit, and we, you know, just with a few games left to go in the season, we were just right there as far as getting in on that last playoff spot. We lost 2 of our last 3 games by combined 3 points. So those were tough. You know, one was a 1-pointer and the other one was a 2-pointer. We just lost. And so I think as far as, you know, getting over the hump, you know, we just got to figure out a way to win those close games. You know, I think our talent is just as good as it was last year, maybe even better. And so we're just going to, as a group and as a coaching staff, we're just going to have to figure out how to, you know, finish those tight games and do a little bit better in those pressure type situations. But yeah, you know, I think we're right there again this year, and you know, we want to get in and we want to compete this year. We feel like we can get in there and contend for a championship. You know, that's our goal. That's what we're trying to do this year. So we're going to dream big.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate maybe a little bit more on some of those players that are coming back to lead the team?
Well, sure. We have 4 sophomores coming back, you know, and 3 of them are our captains. We have Jessica Sorensen, Mikkel Marler, and Chanel Hemmert are our 3 captains coming back. They're all sophomores, and we also have Christina Marlatt coming back. And, you know, Christina was kind of a crowd favorite last year. You know, she's only about 5 feet tall. And, you know, she's kind of like the Energizer Bunny out there running around. And she's really tough to guard. She's kind of like the Muggsy Bogues, you know, of the NWAC for women's basketball. You know, Christina started most of the games last year, and it's just this year has developed a pull-up jumper, which is nice. And because with her quickness, a lot of the teams would play off of her. She's developed that, and so we expect for her scoring to go way up this year. Jessica Sorensen, too, worked super hard over the summer, and just her confidence is so good right now, and I expect her to, you know, probably average double-double this year. I really think she'll be able to do that. Chanel and Mikhail are going to surprise a lot of people this year. They've worked on their three-point shot. Mikhail unfortunately had her season end early last year in December because of a torn ACL. But boy, she came back and worked hard. And you know, I've never seen anybody work as hard as she did for getting her knee ready. And she's got a quick, unbelievable quick shot right now. And she's surprised a lot of people. Our first scrimmage of the year, she got off 6 3-pointers. And she was like 6 for 9. And she's great at just spotting up and getting that ball off quick. And Chanel's such a competitor. She's going to do well for us too from beyond the arc. And then we got some new kids coming in. There's 6 new kids coming in. And you know, we're really excited about just their basketball IQ is the best way to describe it. And they just know basketball. They like basketball. They talk basketball. They like to go into the gym and shoot. You know, it's just great because that's what they're there for, and they love it, and it means something to them. And I think just overall their basketball IQ is a lot better than maybe some of my groups in the past. I think just right there means that we're going to play better basketball. Just having kids that step on the court and are aware of situations and how to create shots for themselves, how to create shots for their teammates, how to defend. You know, all these kids are tough little nuts. You know, they just get after it and get after each other in practice. It's been real fun to watch. You know, sometimes as a coach, you know, we also are the officials too, you know, blowing whistles dead and stuff. And sometimes I get lost because I'm just sitting there watching them play. It's great to see them compete against each other. And we've had some great scrimmages against each other so far this year. But yeah, overall, I think all of our freshmen are going to be able to contribute.
Well, you sound pretty excited about the upcoming season.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your recruiting process. I mean, where do you center your focus? And are there any local girls on the team or women on the team this year?
You know, well, our recruiting process is that we always want to try to get our local kids if we can. You know, and it's whatever the Columbia Basin produces is what we try to go after. Some years the Columbia Basin has got a great harvest, you know, and some years the harvest is a little thinner.
Sure.
And but we always try to go after those kids, and whoever has the ability and the talent to play at the next level, we obviously start there. Some years I've had as many as 7 kids from the Columbia Basin, Quincy, Most Lake, you know, Warden, Ephrata, excuse me, up to 7. This year we don't have as many from the Columbia Basin. I do have one somewhat local product, played at Columbia Hunters, which is just up not too far up the Columbia River. And she's Elizabeth LaRue, and so she's about as local as it gets, and we're excited to have her on the team.
Okay. So this is your 7th season coming up, right?
Yep.
Going into at the helm of the Lady Vikings program. You're 82 and 79, I think you told me earlier, overall. So just wondering, how difficult is it to establish, you know, a dominant program, be competitive with the top 4 teams that you need to be competitive with in the East Conference to get into the postseason on a year in and year out basis when there's a lot of turnover at the 2-year college?
Boy, it's hard. It's really difficult. You know, we've got a couple great coaches in our conference that have been here for years, and they've built programs that are just great, just excellent. You know, and they have the ability to bring in great recruits because of their history, and they tend to go to the tournament every single year. It's hard to crack into that group, you know, I have found so far, but it's definitely something that we work towards every year. We don't necessarily try to measure ourselves to other people, but we're trying to, you know, develop what we have and develop our own identity. And you know, with the turnover, it's no different than what Coach Poth on the men's side has to deal with, or any of the other coaches that I coach against. It's hard sometimes, the 2-year turnover, because sometimes half your team is brand new and they've never heard your plays. They don't know what your system is. So you're running through things and half the people don't, you know, they're hearing it for the first time. And, you know, whereas a university, you know, they've maybe got 2 or 3 kids at every, you know, age group, the seniors, juniors on the way down. So it's difficult to try to develop, you know, establish a program with some continuity, but I think it really, you know, is the character and the quality of kids you bring in, something like Coach Poth has done over the years. And once you start laying that foundation of quality kids, I think then people see that and they're attracted to it and they want to be part of it. And I feel like that's happening at Big Bend. This year I had more underclassmen, kids that are in their junior years or going into their senior year. I had more of those type of kids contact me this summer and want to come up and visit Big Bend early to find out what we're about. And so I think the process is happening, and we just look forward to just getting better and better every year.
Okay. Well, we've got the season opener a ways off yet, and you know, I know you've got scrimmages and some tournament ball that you'll be playing leading up to that point. But have you got a thought in the back of your mind? I mean, I think you open up against YVCC, right? Yakima at home.
That's our league opener.
Oh, right, their
Yeah.
league opener. I guess that's what I'm kind of alluding to here. So it's a ways off, but you still have to have that first game of the season in the back of your mind that you're pointing towards. Have you given any thought at all yet about the importance of getting that first win on the court at home?
Well, you know, sure, we're always excited to get the season going, you know, and get out there and see what we're really like, because, you know, when you're competing against each other, sometimes you really don't know. We've had a few scrimmages so far, and we've done all right in our scrimmages. First one of the year, we went up and we played Douglas College. Actually, we met them in Wenatchee and played over there, and they're a four-year school out of Canada. We did really well, and so that kind of really got me excited. I mean, I had a feeling that we'd probably be all right this year. And we played really well against Douglas and made like 16 threes that game, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of threes. And so that kind of just built a lot of confidence in our girls and what we've been doing so far, what we've been preaching, what we've been teaching. And the girls are just ready to go and get the season going. So there's a lot of anticipation for our season opener. It's actually a week from tomorrow. We open up at home against Northwest Indian College. And then the weekend after that, we have 2 more home games. So, you know, hopefully, you know, the fans in the Columbia Basin will come out and watch our first 3 home games, because then after that we don't have a home game for quite a while until we open up our league against Yakima. So, you know, we're just getting ready. There's a lot of stuff we still got to get better at, but you know, we're really excited just to get playing. You know, one of our sayings this year is we want to respect everybody, but we're not fearing anybody. And you know, we just can't wait for that first game so we can get after people.
Well, we're going to have you on our live broadcast schedule a few times throughout the season too. So we're looking forward to covering that and seeing some good ball up there at the college. One more thing I wanted to just talk to you about is, you know, Big Bend was just awarded the inaugural NWAC President's Cup for academic achievement, and I'm wondering, what kind of significance does that have for the basketball team and the college overall?
Sure. Yeah, just yesterday, and thanks for coming and videotaping that and broadcasting that for us. Yesterday, the NWAC executive director came out and awarded to Big Bend the inaugural President's Cup, which recognizes academic achievement of our student athletes. So often, everything's just geared towards the achievements on the field or on the court. But the NWAC decided that, hey, we need to recognize and honor those schools and programs that take academics just as important as athletics. And so we actually were awarded it based upon our students' GPAs and all those things, the number of graduates we had and so forth. And we were awarded that yesterday. Hey, I think it's going to be great. You know, I've already got coaches saying to me, you know, we're going to use this in our recruiting process. You know, this is going to be great for parents. And it is, you know, because, you know, I think that sets us apart even a little bit more from the other schools. Because the other schools say, hey, bring your kid here, you know, we're going to give them a great opportunity. But, you know, we'll be able to say, hey, we can offer all that, plus academics is super important at our institution. You know, and after all, that's what most parents want, is their kids to get a great education and get a great start to be able to transfer to a university. And we'll be able to say that and say, hey, we've done it so well that we've won the President's Cup. So we're excited about that and what it might do with our recruiting.
I understand that's kind of a traveling cup, so you're going to want to do your best to hang on to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, the president has already told me that he expects us to win it next year too, so we'll have to get busy this year and have our athletes get after it again in the classroom.
Okay, well, I appreciate you stopping by today, and that's going to do it for our segment of the Coach's Corner. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick for I-Fiber One Sports.